You make more money than ever, yet you are secretly one missed paycheck away from total ruin. You aren't bad with money. You are trapped in a meticulously engineered psychological prison. Watch until the end, because the terrifying truth about your salary is about to shatter your reality. Imagine waking up every single day, pouring your absolute best years into a machine, only to realize at the end of the month that your bank account is a graveyard of broken promises. You are making more money than your parents ever did. You wear the crisp suits, you drink the $8 lattes, you sit in the climate-controlled towers of glass and steel, and by all societal metrics, you are winning. But let us be brutally honest for a second. Strip away the Instagram filters and the forced smiles. Look at your savings. Look at the suffocating anxiety that grips your chest when the 25th of the month approaches. You are not wealthy. You are a highly paid slave living in a beautifully decorated cage, one missed paycheck away from total ruin. This is the darkest, most carefully guarded secret of the modern middle class. Welcome to Vuong Gyanaf 02, where we strip away the comforting lies to expose the raw, unfiltered truth about your money and your life. If this harsh reality resonates with that quiet voice in your head, the one you have been trying to drown out for years, I need you to hit that subscribe button right now. Your support is the absolute driving force that allows this channel to keep producing these eye-opening videos, breaking down the financial matrix one truth at a time. Stay with me until the very end of this video, because what you are about to discover will permanently alter the way you look at your next paycheck. Monday morning, 6:30 a.m. The alarm clock shatters the silence like a death sentence. You open your eyes, stare at the blank ceiling, and for those first agonizing 3 seconds, an overwhelming, soul-crushing emptiness washes over you. You drag yourself out of bed, swallow down a tasteless cup of rushed coffee, and merge into the endless sea of gridlocked traffic. You are heading to a place you desperately defend as a stable job. Look around you on that highway. Tens of thousands of brothers and sisters are doing the exact same thing. Lifeless faces illuminated by the dashboard glow, dark circles under hollow eyes. Welcome to the eternal, soul-sucking loop of the working class. You sit in an over-air-conditioned office, dressed in polished corporate attire, typing away on a keyboard while silently convincing yourself that you are living the American dream. Your parents scraped by for every single penny, but you? You are pulling in thousands of dollars a month. You dine at trendy restaurants on the weekends, you check in at luxury resorts, and on paper, you are the epitome of success. But let us drop the act. Pull out your phone right now and open your banking app. What is the actual balance? This is the bitter, devastating paradox of our generation. You generate more income than any blood relative before you, yet the moment payday arrives, your account is already on life support. The direct deposit hits on the 5th, and before the money even gets warm in your pocket, it vaporizes. It evaporates into exorbitant rent, crushing credit card minimums, utility bills, a friend's extravagant wedding, and perhaps a few impulse purchases you desperately bought just to cope with the stress of the job itself. By the end of the month, you are scraping the bottom of the barrel, eating cheap noodles, and aggressively counting down the days until the next agonizing cycle begins. Society does not classify you as poor, but make no mistake, you are absolutely broke. This agonizing state of limbo is not called living. It is called surviving paycheck to paycheck. Why does making more money mysteriously make you feel poorer? Why is it that your salary has doubled, maybe even tripled over the last 5 years, yet you feel less secure than ever before? The answer is brutally simple, and it should make your blood boil. You have fallen headfirst into the salary trap. Do not rush to beat yourself up or drown in guilt over your spending habits. Yes, you bear a fraction of the responsibility, but the deeper, far more sinister truth is this: you did not accidentally step into this trap. It was meticulously designed for you. The entire infrastructure of our education system, mass media, and financial institutions has been brilliantly programmed to mold you into a highly efficient money-making machine, only to ensure you obediently vomit all that cash back into the system. They spent 2 decades teaching you how to work relentlessly to earn a raise, but they deliberately withheld the knowledge of how to actually keep your money. Because if you kept your money and bought your freedom, who would be left to furiously pedal the wheels of this colossal capitalist machine? The salary trap is a flawless matrix. It is a psychological prison where stability is the sweetest, most intoxicating anesthetic ever invented. A drug designed to make you willingly surrender, turning the finite, precious years of your human existence into a never-ending treadmill of debt and desperation. To understand how this flawless matrix keeps you paralyzed, we must first look at the insidious phenomenon that quietly steals every raise you will ever earn. You remember the exact day you got that big promotion, the one you sacrificed your weekends and your sanity to secure. You genuinely believed that crossing that magical income threshold would finally be the breath of fresh air you desperately needed to escape the suffocating anxiety of living paycheck to paycheck. But what actually happened? The ink on your new contract was barely dry before the invisible gears of lifestyle inflation began to grind. Suddenly, your reliable, paid-off car felt a little too old, a little too loud, a little too embarrassing to park next to the gleaming European sedans of your new peers. Your perfectly functional apartment suddenly felt cramped, pushing you to sign a lease for a luxury loft with a skyline view that you are too exhausted to actually look at. You justify every single one of these upgrades with three of the most dangerous words in the English language. I deserve it. You tell yourself that because you endure the soul-crushing meetings, the toxic office politics, and the relentless pressure, you have earned the right to drive a nicer car, wear a designer watch, and order premium sushi on a Tuesday night. But let us dissect that logic. You are using the money you earn from a job that stresses you out to buy expensive things to comfort yourself from the stress of that very job. It is a brilliant, vicious cycle. You are digging your own grave and calling it a renovation. The higher you climb the corporate ladder, the heavier your golden handcuffs become. You are no longer just working to survive. You are working to maintain a meticulously curated illusion of success. Every time your income takes a step forward, your expenses take a massive leap, ensuring that the gap between what you make and what you keep remains essentially zero. This is why you can make six figures and still wake up in a cold sweat when the car mechanic calls with a repair estimate. You are trapped in a high-speed treadmill, running faster and faster just to stay in the exact same spot. You look around and see your colleagues doing the same, which normalizes the insanity. You mistake their shiny leases and maxed-out credit cards for genuine wealth, completely oblivious to the fact that they are drowning in the exact same invisible ocean of debt as you. The illusion of progress is the ultimate parlor trick of the middle class. It makes you feel like you are moving forward, ascending to greatness, while in reality, you are just upgrading the amenities inside your financial prison cell, ensuring you can never, ever afford to walk out the front door. This desperate urge to constantly upgrade your life and reward your exhaustion is not a natural human instinct, but rather a synthetic desire implanted in your mind by the very institutions that profit from your compliance. Look closely at the world around you, at the glowing screens you stare into for hours on end. You are the target of a multi-trillion-dollar psychological warfare campaign engineered by the most brilliant marketers, behavioral psychologists, and financial institutions in human history. Their sole, unwavering objective is to make you feel perpetually inadequate. They need you to believe that you are not handsome enough, not successful enough, not respected enough, and that the only cure for this manufactured emptiness is to swipe your card. Consumerism is not just about buying things, it is a religion of discontent. They have successfully convinced you that your self-worth is directly tied to the logo on your steering wheel and the zip code on your mail. And standing right behind these marketers are the banks, waiting with open arms and a smiling face to fund your insecurities. They invented the credit card not as a tool of convenience, but as a weapon of mass financial destruction. They give you a piece of plastic and a falsely inflated purchasing power, allowing you to consume the fruits of your future labor today. When you get a notification that your credit limit has been increased, your brain releases a hit of dopamine, tricking you into feeling like you have just been handed free money. But the banks are not rewarding your responsibility. They are extending the length of your leash. They want you carrying a balance. They want you paying 20% interest on a pair of shoes you wore twice. The entire concept of the credit score is a masterpiece of modern manipulation. Society trains you to obsess over this three-digit number, to guard it with your life, to feel a sense of overwhelming pride when it reaches the upper echelons. But what is a credit score? Truly? It is not a measure of your wealth. It is a measure of how effectively you manage debt. It is an algorithmic grade that tells the masters of the matrix exactly how reliable of a slave you are. Will you pay your master on time? Will you prioritize their interest payments over your own family's freedom? The system does not want you to build assets. It wants you to build a credit history. By normalizing debt, they have successfully monetized your future, ensuring that the fruits of your labor belong to a banking conglomerate before you have even clocked in for the day. You are not a free citizen. You are a heavily mortgaged asset on a corporate balance sheet. As you eagerly swipe that plastic card to temporarily numb the profound emptiness of your reality, you are silently bleeding out the only currency that actually matters in this universe. Money is infinite. The central banks print billions of it out of thin air every single day. But your time? Your time is terrifyingly finite. You have a fixed number of heartbeats, a limited number of sunsets to witness, and a shockingly small window of healthy years to experience this beautiful, tragic thing called life. Yet, the salary trap has conditioned you to treat your time as worthless and your money as sacred. When you walk into a store and buy a $1,000 smartphone, you are not paying for it with $1,000. If you make $20 an hour, you are paying for that phone with 50 hours of your life. You are sacrificing 50 hours of your youth, 50 hours away from your children, 50 hours of enduring a boss who does not care if you drop dead tomorrow. This is the breaking point that society desperately wants to hide from you until it is too late. The true cost of the salary trap is not just the interest you pay on your credit cards. It is the agonizing realization that you are selling your one and only life to the highest bidder at a discount. Think about the mornings you missed your child's breakfast because you had to beat the rush hour traffic. Think about the evenings you were too physically and mentally drained to have a meaningful conversation with your partner, choosing instead to collapse on the couch and scroll mindlessly through a screen. You are trading the irreplaceable, golden moments of your existence for a paycheck that barely covers the cost of maintaining your ability to go back to work. One day, you will wake up, and your hair will be gray, your joints will ache, and the fire in your belly will have been extinguished by decades of corporate compliance. You will look at the accumulation of your life's work. A house full of outdated consumer junk, a moderately impressive resume, and a retirement account that might just be enough to pay for your medical bills in your twilight years. The tragedy is not that you worked hard. The tragedy is that you worked hard for the wrong things. You sacrificed your vitality, your boldest dreams, and your deepest passions to keep the gears of the machine turning. The invisible tax of the salary trap is your unlived life, and the bill always comes due when you have no time left to pay it. But the very moment you truly internalize that you have been trading your irreplaceable life force for cheap plastic thrills, the invisible bars of this psychological prison finally begin to shatter. This is the awakening. Breaking free from the salary trap is not about discovering some magical, get-rich-quick loophole or winning the lottery. It requires something much harder, much more painful, yet infinitely more rewarding: the complete and utter death of your ego. You must brutally disconnect your self-worth from the opinions of people who do not genuinely care about you. Let them judge you for driving a 10-year-old car. Let them whisper when you stop attending the expensive weekend brunches. Their judgment is nothing more than the rattling of their own chains, projected onto you because your newfound financial discipline terrifies them. To escape the matrix, you must fundamentally rewire how you view a dollar. A dollar is no longer a tool to buy a slightly better version of something you already own. A dollar is a soldier. It is a tiny, tireless worker that you deploy into the financial battlefield to capture the only territory that matters: your time. Every time you choose to invest $100 into assets, whether that is index funds, real estate, or your own business, instead of blowing it on a fleeting luxury, you are actively buying back an hour of your future freedom. You are purchasing the right to wake up on a Tuesday morning and decide exactly what you want to do with your day. This is the concept of stealth wealth. The truly wealthy do not wear their money on their wrists or drive it off a dealership lot. They hold it silently in portfolios that generate the ultimate luxury of absolute autonomy. You have to decide, right here and right now, what the rest of your story will look like. Are you going to continue letting an algorithm dictate your desires, letting a bank own your future, and letting a corporation rent your youth until you have nothing left to give? Or are you going to draw a line in the sand, embrace the discomfort of living below your means, and ruthlessly build your escape pod? The path to financial liberation is lonely, misunderstood, and fiercely difficult. But the alternative is a lifetime of beautifully decorated slavery. Thank you for walking through the fire with me today on Vuong Gyanaf 02. If this message woke something up inside you, if it gave a voice to the silent rebellion you have been feeling for years, share this video with someone who needs to hear the truth, and subscribe to join a community of people who are refusing to accept the script we were handed. Do not let another paycheck slip through your fingers into the pockets of the machine. Your life is waiting for you on the other side of your financial independence. Take control of your money, or it will forever control you. The modern salary trap is a meticulously engineered illusion designed to keep you running on an endless treadmill of consumption and debt. We are constantly conditioned to celebrate promotions and income increases, only to immediately surrender that newly acquired wealth to lifestyle inflation, upgrading our physical surroundings while simultaneously tightening our golden handcuffs. Driven by a multi-trillion-dollar marketing machine and predatory financial institutions, we mistake credit scores for wealth and material possessions for genuine success. In doing so, we commit the ultimate tragedy, trading our terrifyingly finite time, our life force, our youth, and our irreplaceable moments with loved ones, for depreciating consumer goods and corporate approval. Breaking free from this matrix requires a brutal, conscious awakening. It demands the complete death of your ego and a radical shift in how you perceive money. Instead of viewing dollars as tokens for fleeting pleasures, you must see them as tireless soldiers deployed to buy back your future freedom. True wealth is silent. It is the absolute autonomy to control your own schedule. By stepping off the treadmill, ignoring the judgment of a deeply indebted society, and relentlessly acquiring assets over liabilities, you can finally dismantle your beautifully decorated financial prison and reclaim the unlived life that is rightfully yours. Time, not money, is your ultimate and most finite currency. Every purchase you make is not paid for with cash, but with the unrecoverable hours of your life you sacrifice to earn it. Society profits off your insecurities by convincing you to trade your freedom for the fleeting validation of material goods. True wealth is never found in a luxury car or a high credit limit. It is the absolute sovereignty over your own time and the freedom to design your days strictly on your own terms. Audit your ego spending, review your recent bank statements, and identify purchases made strictly for status, convenience, or to numb the stress from a job you dislike. Ruthlessly eliminate them. Deploy your soldiers. Treat every dollar saved not as an act of deprivation, but as a direct investment in your future autonomy. Automate your investments into index funds, real estate, or a side business before you even have the chance to spend your paycheck. Embrace stealth wealth. Stop competing in a rigged game of outward appearances. Intentionally live below your means. Keep driving the older car, skip the overpriced weekend brunches, and let others judge. Redirect that massive surplus of capital to build a silent portfolio that will eventually fund your permanent escape. If you could buy back just 1 hour of your day, what is one ego expense or unnecessary luxury you would willingly cut out of your life right now to afford it? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Your perspective might be the exact inspiration someone else needs to start their own journey to financial freedom. Finally, if this message resonated with you, please hit the subscribe button to support the channel. Your subscription gives us the motivation to continue exposing the truth and creating high-quality content to help you break free from the matrix.